Hi, this webcast is about construction of a reservoir in Sinharaja forest, and I will discuss pros and cons of this project. First, let's look at the facts. The area of the Sinharaja forest is 34 square miles or 21,000 acres, and also some websites say that in 2019 the forest was expanded to 88,000 acres. So that part I'm not really sure. So either it's 21,000 acres or 88,000 acres. Now, what is the project? Right now you have trees, you have various animals, frogs, worms, birds, reptiles, etc. And if I could get a picture, something like this. So you have trees, and then you have little plants, you have birds, reptiles, worms, soil, all that. Now, so this is what we have right now, and once you construct a reservoir, it's going to be like this. All these trees will be gone, and the ecosystem, the frogs, reptiles, all will be gone, but there would be fish, there will be crocodiles, there will be fish eating birds, etc. So it's a different ecosystem once a reservoir is constructed. But the problem is this ecosystem is not very rich as this one. What we have right now is much richer. The whole idea is to build a reservoir and take water to Hambantota for use. I don't know what use that they're planning. So let's look at this one. Let's assume a reservoir is about 1,000 acres. If you're not going to build at least 1,000 acres, there's no point. So there will be this many square feet of area. And the rainfall in the area is 160 inches per year, around 15 feet. So the rainwater that would be in the reservoir is 7 times 10 to the 8 cubic feet. And I just assume like a 75% loss due to evaporation and percolation into the ground. Maybe less, maybe 50%. But that seems like a good number. So we are going to have 1.75 times 10 to the 8 cubic feet from rainwater alone into the reservoir. So assume like 100,000 gallons per family, and you could have 14,000 families can have water with a reservoir of 1,000 acres. That is for use. So 14,000 families can have water for a reservoir with 1,000 acres, assuming you use only rainwater alone. But not in a reservoir, you don't use only the rainwater, you use the rainwater coming from the catch basin. So we would look into that, what would happen when you do that. Or else, if you're going to do paddy cultivation, you're looking at 800,000 gallons per acre. So you could cultivate 1,750 acres of paddy, which is very little, which is not much. So rainwater on the reservoir alone is not enough. So we have to go into the catchment. So now catchment is, you have the reservoir here. Catch basin could be, the watershed area is called, could be 10,000 to 100,000 acres. It's a large area. And all the rainwater that is falling onto this area would come to this reservoir, and some of it would percolate into the groundwater, some of it would evaporate, and some of it come here for the surface flow and recharge the well. And then you have a canal, and canal would take the water to Hambantota area. Now, the watershed area, there's a lot of water available, and that could be. And also I should say that this canal could be built bigger, wider and deeper canal, so you could take more water. Also slope could be more steeper, and that way you could have faster flow. So this canal can be designed in a way to have either a small amount of flow or large amount of flow. So, so the amount of water that would be taken from the reservoir can be controlled. So more water you take from the reservoir, the less water available for groundwater recharge for the forest. Over time, the groundwater level will go down when you keep taking water out more than what the groundwater, more than what the rainwater is. So there's groundwater flow to the reservoir. Like for instance, if you hear, so there's groundwater flow coming to the reservoir, and when you take water out, this groundwater also would be taken out. So the groundwater level will go down in the vicinity of the reservoir. When the groundwater level goes down, the trees would have less water, especially the plants, the frogs, the wet ecosystem here going to suffer significantly. The frogs and the worms. The big trees may not have a problem, but the small plants will have a problem when the groundwater level goes down. Now the groundwater level will not go down in a year or two, but when you keep taking water out, when you take this groundwater away, gradually in 10 years, 15 years, you would see a drop in this groundwater level. And that also could create subsidence. That means the effective stress of the soil would go up when the groundwater level goes down, because there's less buoyancy and the stress goes up, and this soil would come down, settle, and that would damage the root structure of the plants, of the trees, and that's the other problem. So the bottom line is that it all depends on how much water you're going to take from this reservoir, how big it is. If you're going to take a lot of water that you're going to tap into groundwater, then you're going to bring down the groundwater level in the reservoir in sinharaja forest, and that would have significant effect. But if it's just a reservoir and they're not going to take too much water, only the rainwater in the reservoir and a little bit of the watershed area, then I think you may not have much of an impact to the ecosystem. So it's all depend on how much water that they're planning to take from this system. And so my conclusion is, if you take water large amount, you're going to drop the groundwater level. If you do that, that would significantly affect the ecosystem of sinharaja forest. If not, the impact will be minor, because it will be 1,000 acres out of 80,000 acres. It should be able to handle that. Thanks for listening.